Hello and welcome back to the very final part of finding out if comedians were happy in 2025. First up, Russell Howard returned to the show, and in this clip we were going to discuss the effect that having a child has had on Russell's happiness. Here's Russell. You said last time on the show I asked if you were happy, and you said I'm driven completely by fear and I'm loath to fix that.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that still the case?
I would say I am happy. I'm now I'm married and I have a son compared to when we were talking in 2016. So I'm a very different person.
How old is your child? How old is your son?
He's 8 months.
Amazing. Congratulations. I felt like I knew you'd had a kid, but I hadn't seen you for a long time. So you're very low in. My God, 8 months in. Oof.
Yeah, exactly.
Congrats.
So it's kind of, it's wonderful. So my thing now is going, right, how do I combine my love of stand-up with being a dad and, taking him to school and being there for football practice and, all these things. So that's where my head is. My head is in this kind of, okay, how do I combine my love of my job, and how fortunate are we that we have jobs that we love? There's very few people that have that, with, the love of my son and wanting to be around and read bedtime stories and do bath time and, give him his ready break in the morning and all this kind of thing. So, yeah, I definitely feel I feel content, which is a nice feeling that I never thought I'd have. But I still like writing stand-up. And I think I'm a lifer. I think I'll be doing this, and there'll be times when I'm frustrated by it. But I would say I'm happy. Yeah. It's a nice feeling. I mean, yeah, it's pretty exhausting, but it's to be smiled at for nothing other than being yourself. Yeah. Oh, what a feeling. Who knew that was out there? Do you know what I mean?
I can't wait to see future material of yours which combines your ability to be articulate and so funny with, like, now that I'm on the other side of it, like, my kids are 6 and 9. I'm by no means on the other side of it, just if anyone's spitting their tea out at the moment. But on the other side of the 8-month thing, I'm now kind of already looking fondly back on kids' books that we used to read and going, oh God, I guess that's done. I guess we're not going to read Paper Dolls anymore. We all know it backwards. That bit's done. Horrifying in many ways. But I can't wait to see what you get from it all. I'm so dead. Like, I love being a dad. I found it so hard in the early days, in the early years, and I'm so keen to talk to you at length about it. But maybe this isn't the time and place for it. But I'm very excited.
Yeah, but it's also so. I'm also really hyper aware of trying. That's why I don't put any photos of him on social media.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to give his name away. I would never speak ill of him. I hate the idea.
Yeah, I've already fallen into that trap. There's some YouTube stuff out there now, which I'm like, if you watch that when you're 15 plus, you'll get it. And if you watch it in the 10 years before that, I'm in serious trouble.
Yeah, but also that's kind of, but you'll be able to sit down with your kids and explain that. But it's, and also the very fact that you're thinking like that indicates it's probably fine, Stu. But it's that thing of, I always find that thing when people are kind of sort of rude about their kids for the pleasure of someone else, you think, oh God, at what cost?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At what cost? There's nothing sacred. And again, that's another thing. That's something that I'm noodling with and trying to figure out. It's the whole kind of like, I don't understand why celebrities would use their kids to further their brand. I find that so vulgar and weird. But talking about that in front of an audience, because people will be like, well, I'll put photos of my kids online. Are you calling me a cunt, mate?
Yeah.
So it's kind of trying to figure that out. And I find that very, very interesting.
That was Russell Howard. Next, it's Mark Simmons, known for his razor-sharp wordplay, very inventive misdirection, and constant and relentless punchlines. Here's Mark Simmons. Someone listening to this who's like, I'd love to get over myself by accepting I'm good. When will I know if I'm good enough to accept I'm good?
Yeah, I guess it's that. I wish I could say the exact moment, but I don't know. I think it's I suppose it's when I got to the point of headlining clubs, maybe when you're being trusted and also consistently having nice gigs.
Yeah,
I think that is the key, because if you have enough good gigs across all spans of types of gigs, mm-hmm. the evidence is there. But it's been before, for me, it was in the old days where you just had so many up and down gigs. And a lot of the time, it's probably just because the gig was shit. But back then, I wouldn't have ever said that. Like, I can remember loads of gigs I did when it was just comics. And I beat myself up afterwards. Well, of course it didn't work. They're all thinking about their own jokes. I guess it's experience, so you can say, well, that's why that's happened. And maybe that is why maybe it is after I started to analyse not just the joke, but what's everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So then you can actually accept that, what the reason for something not working. Yeah.
Before we wrap up, 2 last questions. The first is, are there other skills that other comics have that you covet? Like, we know we've established, like, there are certain things you're really good at doing. Like, you're a really strong joke writer. You've got good structures. You've methodically created good structures for your good joke writing and performing to breathe. You understand the cadence. You've got a really good technical appreciation of why something's funny, but also that doesn't get in the way. We also get to sort of breathe and see you. All of that good stuff is working. Is there other stuff out there which you're like, if only I could crack that, or that element of it?
Yeah, not really. Not really. Like, I am very happy in what I do, and I for me, being up there and being able to go bang, 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 bang with gags, I just love that as a way of doing it. The times when I think I wish I was another comic would be when putting a show together, and being like, oh, if only I could do one idea and then just ring all those.
Yeah.
But when I actually then have enough one-liners to fill the time and they're all good, I don't think I'd rather be doing that.
Yeah.
It's only in that frustrating time where you're trying to put the show together and maybe just the ideas aren't coming to you in that moment. But no, I'm very happy with how I do it. I don't look at other styles of comic and go, I wish I could do that. I don't think. Because I can do, it's like I said with those, like I'll watch someone like Brian Gittins and I love it. And I probably when I started wished I could do that. But I know I can't. But I can do things within my show that are a little bit like that. So I can scratch that itch a little bit, if you know what I mean.
And are you happy?
Yeah, I am happy. Yeah, I've got a lot of things do make me happy. Like, I don't think you can be happy constantly all the time, but performing really makes me happy. Like, I love it, and I get to do that nearly every day. So that's nice, isn't it?
That was Mark Simmons in the last of the episodes that I recorded at South by Southwest earlier this year. Aparna Nancherla joined me as we explored the intrinsic link between comedy and sadness. One thing I wanted to ask you was about whether there are any, as someone who, I think a lot of comics have suffered with mental health problems.
Sure.
My feeling is that almost all people do. It's just that comics are allowed to talk about it on stage. I don't necessarily subscribe to the kind of comics are all secretly depressed theory.
Sure.
But for those of us that wear it on our sleeve a bit more obviously, I was wondering, are there any creative benefits to depression, or is it all... You know what I mean? Is it all just terrible? Like, I often sort of I'm a sort of chronic anxiety sufferer, and I've often thought to myself, like, if there was a choice, like a blue pill and a red pill, for you can either get rid of all the anxiety or have all the success that the anxiety may drive you towards, like, which one would I do?
Oh, wow.
You know, would it be better to be
terribly unsuccessful, like as unsuccessful as one might secretly fear one is, and yet happy. Like, what would the trade-off be? Would that be worth it?
But maybe maybe the anxiety is also driving the like importance of being successful, right? So without that, you would be happy and not stressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What's your take on?
I mean, I would say you were asking like, what is a positive side of depression? You get a lot of downtime. It is a lot of time to sit around and think.
Okay.
Because you can't really do anything else.
Sure.
Yeah.
But and is that because I know in the brief periods of depression I've had, I wouldn't have really wanted to think in a creative way.
Sure.
I'd have wanted to sort of avoid everything. I'd have felt like, oh, now like this would be a perfect time for me to do some work trying to describe the funniness of this, and I can't, which means I'm even more of a piece of shit.
Well, the interesting thing to me
I'm sorry, I just got a pity R from someone in the audience.
Yeah, I don't know, for me, I've always felt like comedy and sadness and even anxiety are kind of two sides of the same coin, where it's like when I'm really depressed or anxious, I'm sort of like, why am I even here? What am I doing? And then that is essentially stand-up too, where you're essentially asking, why are we all here? What are we doing? Why do we do things this way? They're both kind of micro-analyzing. One is very self-directed, like anxiety and depression is, I'm a piece of shit. Why am I so bad at everything? But I feel like stand-up is sort of inflicting that on the world more, or even maybe on yourself. So I think, I don't know, for me, it's kind of using the same conduits in the brain, and one of them goes in a more just self-defeating flat line direction, and then the other one's like, okay, but like, if I'm kind of trying to explain this to another person of like what's going on in my head, how would I do that and do it in a way where they're not immediately going to walk away and be like, you know what, this is kind of a bummer. I'm going to go watch Real Housewives.
Sure. Yeah. Is there, I was thinking about the kind of the hustle necessary to become a comedian and the drive required and the literal driving and, the traveling and all of those things. How did those sit with periods of depression?
Not great. I feel like there was a period where I was, quote unquote, like my career was going well and things were really picking up. And this was like, a number of years after I kind of started talking more about mental health in my act. And it felt like things imploded a little bit, where it was almost like I was being rewarded for being really vulnerable on stage, but then those same demons were making it really hard to show up to do stand-up. Where it was like, as I was talking about anxiety and depression on stage, my anxiety and depression were getting worse off stage. And I was like, canceling shows and not able to get through the day. So I think I really had to reckon with like, do you have to create boundaries just to self-preserve versus just turning everything into material and then thinking I'm a robot and I can just show up and deliver these jokes with no impact as a human. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if the comedy world is saying, hey, we really like it when you kind of eviscerate yourself in front of us. Yeah.
And I almost feel like that's been a trend that stand-up has taken, or, even like hour-long shows where it's sort of like a vulnerability contest of like, how real could he get? He was sitting the whole time and he didn't even want laughs. I just feel like it's kind of turned into, in some regards, a pissing contest of like, and that's any cultural trend. We go in different waves of things, but it is funny to me that it's sort of like we pick a thing and then we run it into the ground.
Last question, and given the context of the interview so far, I promise I ask this of everyone. Are you happy?
Am I happy? I think I am okay. I am okay. I'm okay with the ups and downs, and I think I am, I think I like just saying like, I think I am okay feels like a grounding thing versus like, am I making the most of all of this? So I'm okay. Maybe that feels like it's happy in its own way. But yeah, I think I'm all of it. I'm happy, I'm sad, but I'm okay.
Aparna Nancherla there. Then Nick Mohammed returned to the show after over a decade, and we talked about all sorts of things, including The Traitors, Ted Lasso, Mr. Swallow, and Taskmaster. This is shortly before he became one of my son's favourite people on account of his superb work on Traitors. Here's Nick Mohammed. I don't remember when the last time was you were on the show. It was years ago. Though.
I know exactly when it was, because we were going to try and make it a 10-year anniversary. It was like April 2015. We were going to try and do it as a decade, but we just missed it.
Incredible.
I know. It's mad because it doesn't feel that long ago. We're still here.
So here's the final question. As you know, are you happy?
Really happy, Stu. I don't want to be a pain in the bum, but no, I am, and I'm happy because I have got such a wonderful support network in terms of personally my incredible wife, like literally such a superhero, like phenomenal, and kiddies, but also just professionally I've just got some lovely people just, there holding my hand through it all, and I'm just having a ball. Getting to do this Swallow show has been a dream come true, really, to get to play those rooms, but me just doing that weird voice and clumsy antics, which really should just be on in the Pleasance upstairs, really. But getting to take it to somewhere a little bit bigger, it just feels like a dream come true. So I'm very, very happy. Yes.
That was Nick. Next up, we heard from Kemah Bob. Kemah and I discussed valuing authenticity over polished craft. We talked about using comedy as an open dialogue with strangers, something she's brilliant at. And we talk about how moving from the US to the UK really gave her space to truly find herself. Here's Kemah. Review yourself honestly. What would you say if you were to review yourself?
I think that I have a great foundation, but a lot of room to grow. But based off of what I've exhibited, I can see myself doing that. And I really do believe that, from what I've been able to show myself and who I know myself to be, if I stick to my guns, I'll be great at whatever the fuck I do. And so yeah, that's just nice. I think that's nice. I feel a confidence from myself that I think only comes from surviving a car crash. By kind of a bit of a crash and burn and living to tell the tale and being hey, if you crash and burn, it's actually not the end. And maybe you can draw from that experience to create something, that brings you to a different height of self-belief that you thought was gone. So yeah, I'm excited about what she'll do next.
That's great. That's very robust and measured. That's lovely to hear. Are you happy, Kemah Bob? You've answered this at the beginning.
Yeah, I am. I think obviously we could do some things. We could definitely get some more money going on around here. It would be nice to have a romantic partner. I think that'd be pretty cool. But we're having a great time.
Thanks, Kemah.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
That was Kemah Bob. And then in July, we heard from Daniel Foxx. Daniel, God, he's so good. I haven't. He's one of those people I want to make a bit of an appointment to view. I've literally just thought to myself, God, I haven't seen any of Daniel Fox's Instagrams for a while. I must catch up. He'll have chucked out loads since coming on the show. He's brilliant. We discussed all things around his hit show Villain and the creative burnout, which nearly led to him retraining as a surgeon. Here's Daniel Foxx. Or what joke makes you most jealous that you didn't write it, that you didn't think of it yourself?
There's so many. That's really hard. I think the best one ever is Alan Carr's, because it's so... it's hard to believe that there was a time when anyone hadn't played on this, but he's talking about a woman in an office. She's got a sign up behind her. It says, "You don't have to be mad here, but it helps." she's written it in her own shit.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's so good. That's just on the subject of jokes. I can't attribute this. It drives me mad because it's just a random joke I saw on social media at some point. But the just brackets Benny Gesserit voice. What's the voice called? The Benny Gesserit voice?
The voice, I think, isn't it?
It's like brackets the voice. Absolutely no worries if not. Absolutely kill me. And when you mentioned the Benny Gesserit, I thought that joke may be pertinent to your interest.
That's so funny.
It's phenomenal, but I can't attribute it because I can't remember who wrote it. That is just I love it. I love it every time I think of that.
That tickles me a lot.
Review. We'll finish with this one and then one last one. If you were to review yourself honestly, what would you say?
Gosh. What would I say? God, that's so hard. What a horrible thing to ask someone. I think I would say nice things. I think on some level I think that I'm good for how long I've been going. I think I would be like, oh, yeah, like strong joke writer figuring out his style, maybe. I think that's the like the peak and the low is like, I think I'm still getting there with how I want to perform. Yeah, maybe it'd be like some great jokes, some good moments with the audience, others fell a little flat.
And finally, Daniel Foxx, are you happy?
Yes, increasingly so, yeah.
I love it.
Would you like more?
Well, no, I just stayed quiet in case you would like more. But that's fine. That was nice.
Yeah, increasingly so. I've been doing therapy, feeling less anxious by the week, and having a nice time.
That was Daniel Foxx, and finally on this little clip show, this is like one of those episodes of Adventure Time in which a mysterious alien whose name I don't remember, but who was voiced by Emo Phillips of all people, did a little clip show. Did you ever see Community? Did you watch Community? There was, I think, in season 3 or maybe 4, they did a clip show, except all of the, like a little kind of Christmas clip show type thing, except all of the clips weren't from episodes. They'd created them specially for the thing. It was absolutely gorgeous. I might watch that this Christmas. So finally, at the end of this little clip show, I was very honoured for Adam Riches to come on the show to share the craft behind his chaotic genius character work, and he answered whether or not he's happy in a way that no one has ever answered before. Here's Adam Riches. We've come to the end. Thank you so much. This has just been a delight. And I feel very honoured and pleased that you listened to those episodes with those people and found something useful in it. And I'm sure lots and lots and lots of people will find loads of interesting, useful stuff in this. Last question, always the last question. Are you happy?
Am I happy with the recording?
Are you happy? Am I happy?
We're still on it.
I thought you were doing some admin. Am I happy with the recording? This is the question. This is the end of the interview, Adam, and the question can be interpreted however you like. Are you happy?
Am I happy? Well, yes, and no. Like, I think that's what you should aim for. I think, yes, because there's lots of stuff in my life that I am very, very lucky and fortunate to feel now. No, because I want more, and because I want to keep chasing for more. So that will always push me. If I think back to a period that we've covered in lots of this, very, very difficult personal life, very, very difficult family life, very difficult relationship with, say, my work in the industry. Where we are now, very, very happy with my relationship. All my family is safe and healthy, and my ideas are still flowing and happening. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to that, to those sadnesses that come inevitably with life, but using them in the right way. I think that is something that I can take. We use the metaphor of like failure and a bad gig to teach you lots of stuff. Like sadness teaches you lots of stuff as well. Like losing, loved ones teaches you a lot of stuff as well. Gives you context, gives you pause, gives you, the ability to just look at the moment, which is a very important thing to embrace, and maybe the hardest thing to embrace when you're making something and all the noise that surrounds it. But like I would say that you can't not have that stuff without the other stuff. Like that, it all binds together. And if your life is making stuff that comes from within, well, then you're not going to evolve unless you actually have some of that other kind of spice going on in there to flavor it all. So yeah, like yes and no to if I'm happy or not, but absolutely fine with not being happy for periods, because I know that like you just blink and you wake up and there's another record you can put on the turntable.
And that was it. That was Adam Riches. I hope this served as a lovely little sort of tasting menu of the 2025 ComCom Pod roster. Don't forget you can join the Insiders Club at patreon.com/ComComPod for a little glance backstage at the Comedian's Comedian podcast. £3 a month, instant access to ad-free audio and video versions, but most importantly, exclusive extras that you can't get anywhere else, including Russell Howard on what it's like being rich and famous. That was a good answer. Aparna Nancherla on the worst comedy advice she's ever received, which is genuinely shocking, and Nick Mohammed on the security of magic within comedy. Very interesting, nuanced stuff. We'll be back very soon with episode 500, and I'm desperate to tell you who it is, but I'm not going to. So please look forward to that after, I was going to say 5 decades of ComCom. That's not how time works. It's been just under 14 years. Feels like 5 decades though, right kids? Anyway, thank you for listening to that. I hope this has sort of like both whet your appetite and also refreshed it. Refreshed your appetite. Oh God, that's awful. I've sort of given myself sort of misophonia. Yeah. Anyway, have a lovely new year, and we'll be back very soon with episode 500.